Give me sugar.
Sugar-free chocolate. You and I have had our disputes in the past, and I stand by my statement that all sugar-free bars are terrible, right? There's nothing about them. Eating a sugar-free chocolate bar is like listening to a censored version of a DMX song. Oh, no. Eating a sugar-free chocolate is like masturbating out of boredom. There's no passion behind it. There's no drive. There's no attention. You'd rather be doing absolutely anything in the world if you could, but you can't. And so,
I stimulated my penis.
the reason sugar-free chocolate has been so bad is because they've been using the same sugar replacement ingredients since like the 70s and 80s, dude, and all of them are awful. But with the dawn of the ketogenic diet, which focuses on eating only fats and I guess proteins, and then ignoring all sugars and all carbs, you have a new revolution of sorts, where they found actual ingredients that are newly researched and actually pretty decent to replace those crappy old ones. Starting off with a Keto Cups hazelnut peanut butter. Now, this was $3, right? All this stuff is going to go from cheapest to most expensive, and I think this one might be a gimme, right? The cards stacked against the Keto Cup world. I think this is probably going to be a pretty easy get for you. Now, the real ingredients that are coming forward that are so different from the old world is something called organic monk fruit extract. Now, monk fruit is something that gives you the taste of sugar, gives you the sensation of putting sugar into something without having any of the actual sugar in it. Now, you'll notice it's all about the fat in this thing, and it's all about having that sort of, I guess you could say, pure flavor of the chocolate itself, which is always a good thing. Wow, that's really making a great first impression there. Now, I will say that the actual aesthetic appeal of this thing is fantastic, man. They have a little design on there and everything like that. This thing is melting. Well, I mean, you saw how it melted. It melted pretty much immediately. Given the fact that it's 3 times more expensive than a Reese's cup, it better be damn fantastic.
Now eat 'em.
Oh, geez Louise. Oh, man, you had it, and then you lost it. It starts off so well. You can really taste the complexity of those cocoa, and you can taste the complexity of that hazelnut butter, man. That's really great. The problem happens with the aftertaste, and once again, we're falling back into the same trap of so many sugar-free options. That aftertaste is a very chemically and just, like bitter sort of thing to it, man. I want to see if all these things had that horrible of an aftertaste, because after about one bite of this thing, it's good for a second, and then, the dark times, they get dark. Next up, we've got a $5 coconut milk chocolate combination with the addition of monk fruit added to it. Now, I think this will do a good job at sort of getting rid of that unpleasant aftertaste that sort of plagues everything else. You're going to be noticing a trend here where we add more and more sweeteners to the chocolate until we finally get what we have. Our previous one only had one, which was the monk fruit, and this one has 2, and the one I'm going to show you after this, you won't even want to know. Very nice little design it has there, very twirly-whirly, florally-borally.
Hurly-burly.
Okay, all right, that's a lot better. The aftertaste is completely gone. What we've got now is a much more mellow and much more dulcet sort of coconut overtone in addition to the chocolate itself. Now, the cocoa with all this stuff has been absolutely excellent, and that's no difference here. There's a lot of really good, complex sort of floral flavors there where you wouldn't necessarily taste them when they're being overwhelmed with a lot of extra sugar. And the monk fruit works well as well. A little bit of that tinge when you have like more than a couple of bites, and that, is still kind of unavoidable. For $5 though, I mean, would I rather have this or an actual chocolate bar? I'm gonna go with like a Cadbury bar or something, dude. It's better, I guess. And now at the very top tier of the list, we've got the most egomaniacal chocolate on the planet, the good chocolate. Oh, it's the good chocolate right here. Doug, let me show you the claims this thing's making. The world's best tasting bean-to-bar chocolate made without added sugar.
The audacity!
Now, you remember how I mentioned that the more sweeteners you add, the better the chocolate tastes? Well, this one's going all out, man. This one's got 3 different sweeteners in there. It does not have any monk fruit, but it does have different combinations of all these other things. The weirdest calorie counts I've ever seen in my life. 142. You couldn't just round it down? Like, what? There's a lot of attention to detail put into this thing. There's a lot of effort that went to it. I mean, you can just tell, dude, they actually do care for the most part. And for $8 a bar, they better, because good God almighty, he ain't playing no games no more. It has the best tempering out of all of them. There's no question about it. You can just tell from the sheen. This is a good way to tell if you're looking at high quality chocolate or not. You can see if it shines. If it's got that sheen to it, it's been tempered well, it's been having a lot of time to sort of, combine and get together and make sure all those flavors and ingredients really get to know each other.
Now eat 'em.
God, and there it is. That bitterness has once again returned in quite full force, man. I was thinking the more addition of all those sweeteners and all that stuff would actually make it more sweet, to make it taste like more like milk chocolate.
Absolutely not.
Really bitter dark chocolate with a really unpleasant, not just aftertaste, but during taste. This has no creaminess to it whatsoever, whereas the coconut milk did have that element of creaminess and sort of like, almost like a delectableness. This has none. All of these bars, all of them, are basically inedible, with the small exception of the coconut one, but even that one, you can only take in so many small doses. I don't feel like I'm eating a treat. I feel like I'm being punished, and it makes me sad to see that the world of sugar-free chocolates has not evolved in the least.
Come on and do, 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 come on and do.
Today I did not jerk off before my video, which I normally do.